Okay, guys, so it looks like the devs have responded to the negative feedback when it comes to Dawn of the Hunt update. Apparently, there's been some negative reviews on it, some mixed opinions, things like that. And I want to go over what the devs are planning on doing to sort of listen to feedback and respond to the feedback in terms of what actions they're taking. So let's read on here. And we got many people are reporting that gameplay is feeling too slow. Sorry. Sometimes this comes in the form of people saying that monster life is too high or player damage is too low or areas are taking too long. In this post, we will track about some of the things we have already done and more of the changes we are planning to making. So Huntress itself, like specific concerns. One of the major concerns that we have seen for the Huntress is that a lot of the power of the class is locked behind the parry mechanic. Now, me personally, I'd forget the parry. I usually parry bosses, but even then I don't really have to because the way my build works, I'm using Rake. I got a Rake bleed build I'm working on, and it's really good. And some players do not wish to parry, which is understandable. Getting frenzy charges without parry is an option it's an option available to the class later on. So yeah, but there are no other early game options that don't involve parrying. We want to give early game players an option to get frenzy charges without parrying, but we have to be very careful not to make this too easy and remove the rewards for doing the parry combos. So in order to do this, we are adding a new skill on the second row of the spear skills called Call of the Weak. This skill is effectively the same as killing Palm on the monk, but for frenzy charges, if a monster's is in calling range, using Call of the Weak will charge towards the monster, kill it instantly, and give you a frenzy charge. So yeah, it works the same way. Makes sense what they're going to do. Okay. So this is going to be happening over the next few days. We also want to improve the feeling of parry more generally. Two issues we have identified are that in some cases it feels like you should parry monsters but don't, and that in other cases you get heavy stunned in cases where you feel like you shouldn't. We are currently investigating improvements to these. The other bit of feedback are players who don't want to enter melee range at all, while the primary role of the class is incentivizing a ranged melee hybrid playstyle. Yeah, that's the whole point of Huntress. Like, I'm sorry, but if you didn't want to play Huntress, as far as like only want to do melee with Huntress, then it's probably should pick a different class, in my opinion. I mean, because she's designed to be a hybrid of melee and range. So we do think we can improve on this type of gameplay somewhat while still incentivizing using both types of attacks. To make this type of gameplay feel better, we are going to be buffing the speed of spear throws generally, but especially lightning spear. The damage will remain the same, meaning that you will get approximately a 25% buff to DPS from using only lightning spear. That's good. Some other spear throws will receive slight speed increases too, but they generally have other mechanics that mean that attack speed on them is less relevant. Okay. And sometimes increasing your attack speed is the better way of getting damage output. Player minion damage and life. So apparently minions got nerfed, like when it comes to the witch class to do necromancer build. One of the areas of major balance adjustment in 0.20 was the minion life and damage curves for players. So in the 0.1.1 in-game minion characters were getting very out of control values, mostly due to being able to significantly increase gem level on these gems. We previously significantly reduced the growth of minion life and damage as these gems gain levels, and the intention was to mostly hit the top of the end game, but it seems that this had an unintended effect on campaign play as well. We are making a change to increase damage and life that minions get during the campaign to be more similar to before, while still keeping the scaling nerfs that were introduced to the higher minion gem levels for the end game. Makes sense. Apparently monster life too high. One of the first things we looked at when concerning clear speed concerns was the monster life curve. We found that monster life through most of the campaign after Act 1 was probably too high. We have made an adjustment to lower monster life by 25% through most of the campaign, and this change has been deployed already. So this has already been done, which is good. Second issue we found was that life bonus on rare minions was incredibly high. One of the reasons why this feels particularly bad is because these monsters are still white, but we had more life than blue monsters. Oh, but they had more life than blue monsters. That's weird. Okay. This collaborates players' expectations incorrectly. Not collaborates, calibrates. Words. They're hard. Okay. And makes rare fights harder than they should be. This number has been set back to what it was in 0.1.0. Okay, which lowers rare minion life by about 6%. This change has also been deployed. Good, good. Large area sizes. So many players are reporting that areas feel like they are too large. Normally, when this is the case, the main reason is due to other concerns such as monster life or player damage being incorrect, or just a lack of entertaining content in the area. However, we are checking to see if there are other outliners that players are spending too long in to see, and if any changes to the area size need to happen, basically. Okay. In the meantime, we did notice that there are some areas that don't have sufficient checkpoints, so we're doing a pass of adding some more of these. Yeah, there's definitely still plenty of areas that need a lot more checkpoints so you can travel between those checkpoints. Crashes and disconnects. This is definitely still an issue. On launch day, we had severe and common client crash in town. The fail to serialize object crash. I don't. This crash was fixed on the first day, but there are still other client and server crashes that remain. Currently, the number of client crashes is actually a bit lower than in 0.1.1 due to working around somewhat common NVIDIA driver crash, but the rate of server-side crashes is approximately 6 times higher, which results in you getting suddenly disconnected. Yeah, that's been happening to me. Thankfully, the server-side crashes are significantly easier for us to debug, and we believe that we should be able to resolve most of these within the next few days. Good. Hopefully they do, because this game still needs optimization and better quality life stuff. Of course, we will continue to work on client crashes as well, but as a primary crash we had in 0.1.1 is now resolved, we believe that we should be able to fix the remainder of these fairly quickly, which is good. Quality of life features that they're probably adding here. We are additionally working on a few extra features that should be released relatively soon. The first one is adding a system for bookmarking locations on your atlas map. That's a very good one. The system will allow you to save locations with a name on the atlas so you can find them later. Another is adding stash tab affinities for more item types, including sockables and tablets. And updating the flash affinity to include charms. And another is adding a way to rebind specters and tame beasts so that you can experiment with these options more easily. Good stuff here. I know I've been personally enjoying the new content update. Aside from the technical issues and the game freezing, still having audio issues and crashing on me sometimes still. But the campaign itself has been pretty fun to go through. I've figured out like a bleed build with the Huntress character that's working for me. And I'll eventually do a build guide on that soon to showcase to you guys. But it's not been too difficult. It's been fun. Progress, I haven't really noticed if it's like been slower or faster. It's just been about the same to me, in my opinion. I haven't gotten to Act 3 yet, but we'll have to see. And I haven't done like cruel difficulty run or even like end game to see how the end game is in this current state of the content update. So I have to wait and see. But definitely been experiencing some weird freezes, issues, crashes, and it's still a problem. And the servers are still laggy sometimes. And this needs to be fixed. The game's been out for a long time now. I know it's early access, but this is something that still needs to be addressed ASAP. Hopefully they do. We'll have to wait and see, though. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below about this. What are you excited for from this update as far as what they're trying to resolve? And is there anything else you still feel like the game needs to be a better experience? And if you enjoyed this, please hit a like, subscribe if you're new. I'll see you in the next video.